Hello, I'm back for part 3 of Paranormasight. Yesterday we played through 2 different routes. We went through Haruo Shiima's route, so we learned a lot about her backstory, the kidnapping, this tragic murder that took place, I think it was 20 years prior to the events of the story. We also hit a dead end with her route. We were told that we cannot progress for the time being. Then we played Tetsuo Tsutsumi's route. We learned about how a police officer was recently murdered and how it's thought that it could have been the work of a curse bearer. And then we also started to collect other curse echoes without having to kill anybody. Did not use my curse whatsoever. And we collected 2 more, but now we're kind of at this impasse where we can't progress here. I'm guessing either we need to make I don't think it's a different choice point because it's not branching into different routes, but there has to be something else the game wants me to do before we can continue that. So we're going to meet Yako Sakazaki. From what I can recall from previous play sessions, she is a high school student who was friends with Michio, a high schooler who recently committed suicide and who seems to be caught up in other plot points such as the kidnapping from a year ago and possibly also from some other things too. So spirit board, interesting. Yako Sakazaki searches for the rite of resurrection, hoping to revive her friend who jumped to her death. To get the information she needs, she meets with her classmate Mio Kurosuzu in their classroom at midnight to attempt using a spirit board. And that was actually something that they talked about. I want to say it was a newspaper article, one of the many newspaper articles that we read from Hanwei's route, that this is a thing that high schoolers have been doing recently. So let's see what happens here. 12 a.m. So this is after the cops were talking, but it's simultaneous to the conversation between the private investigator and Hanwei. That should be everything. Okay, let's start. Ready for this, Yako? Okay, I'm ready. Alright. Yako is a student in Class 2C at Komagata High School. Unable to comprehend why her childhood friend and classmate Michio Shiraishi committed suicide, she attempted to investigate the incident herself. However, she was unable to make any progress and, feeling desperate, invited transfer student Mio Kurosuzu to join her in performing a spirit board ritual. Born and raised in Honjo, Sumida City, Yako's family has owned and operated the beloved candy shop Senoyo since its establishment in the early Showa era. Despite her modest appearance, Yako is a cheerful and vivacious young woman with a sense of duty and compassion so strong that she's easily moved to tears. She's also a bit quick-tempered and quarrelsome, always prepared to stand up against those who harm her family or friends. It is possible, however, that this readiness to fight is more driven by an innate love of chaos. Yako's winning streak against arrogant boys and scraps since she was a child remains unbroken, and is a source of considerable stress for her mother. And the high school still strives to instill its students with the 3 S's of Sumida: sound morals, social responsibility, and strength of spirit. Success has been limited. Plagued by delinquency, it has been forced to turn its temporary employees to compensate for its high staff turnover, and its sports club face challenges with its inner-city location and small campus. Traditional culture research club is thriving, however, even issuing regular bulletins in collaboration with the local records office. Can't have anything to do with the rite of resurrection. Alright, let's start. This is the spirit board. This is how we'll be communicating. First, we'll both put a finger on the 10 yen coin that's on the board. Like this? Just like that. Relax your finger as much as you can. Now, for the chant, repeat what I say, okay? O specter of the spirit board, please visit us. Your turn. Specter of the spirit board, specter of the spirit board, please visit us. You're a little off. Huh? Just relax. I'll say it again. O specter of the spirit board, please visit us. Your turn. Wait. Specter of the spirit. Isn't that what I clicked? Specter of the spirit board. Specter of the spirit board. Specter of the spirit board, please visit us. Good. Please tell us if you are here. Whoa, it really moved. Looks like we succeeded in the summoning. We can ask questions now. Right. Questions. Start with a question you know the answer to and see the response. Then, when you know your questions are being answered truthfully, you ask what you really want to know. Spirit board more. Is it because it's a mood? Okay, I'll start with something simple. Okay, Specter of the spirit board, where are we? Pumpkin! Pumpkin. She's sitting in the bathtub just meowing. What are you doing? High school. High school. That's right. The answers don't seem to be very precise. I think I should know the answer to this. Oh, Specter of the Spirit Board. What is my name? Huh? What's the matter? How strange. Huh. It told me no. I bet it means it doesn't know. It may be the Specter of the Spirit Board, but it doesn't know everything. Is a spirit really the real deal? It's fine. I feel like it's giving me attitude. Just like my cat. Fine. What is the name of the girl across from me? Mio. That's right. That's not fair. It knows your name, Mio. It even used that weird character you used to spell your name. How flattering. Meow, that's right. Alright, Mio. Yes? Do you want something? Mio transferred to Class 2C at Komagata High School about 2 months ago. Although she is an extremely mild-mannered young woman, she exudes a somewhat off-putting dark aura, which makes it difficult for her to form friendships. Mio has, however, found a friend in her classmate, Yako Sakazaki, and has begun opening up to her little by little. The truth of the matter is that Mio is the apprentice of a famous psychic. Possessing exceptional spirit sense, she takes on the troublesome task of surreptitiously handling spiritual disturbances that break out in schools across Tokyo before they become a problem. She transfers schools frequently as a result, and thus has trouble making human friends. Mio has already solved an incident at Komagata High involving a female student possessed by a spirit. Although she takes effort to hide her spirit sense, many develop an impression that Mio has a deep knowledge of the occult and the paranormal upon first meeting her, leading her to be anxious that her secrets have been exposed. The most common comment she receives is that she seems to get along well with crows and black cats. Speaking of cats, Pumpkin, what are you doing? Stop being a butt. Do you want something? Yeah, I figured. Okay. She didn't finish her food earlier, so she was acting annoyed. I bet even the teachers get it wrong all the time. I guess these paranormal beings just tend to take a liking to you. Huh. I don't know how I should feel about that. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board. Are you truly the Spectre of the Spirit Board? Huh? It said no. Is it lying? Not quite. The Spectre of the Spirit Board is just a temporary name. We call it them when using the board. We're actually calling a spirit with a strong tie to this place, or one of the people participating. In other words, a spirit that just happened to be nearby, just felt like answering. They don't really think of themselves as the Spectre of the Spirit Board. Oh, really? Huh. Feels like some of the mystique has disappeared. Do you mind if I still call you Spectre of the Spirit Board? Yes. Okay. Thanks. Always good to remember to say please and thank you. I'll ask it again. What is my name? Didn't even hesitate this time. Alright. It's time to try asking serious questions. Yeah. Well, I can't go from one question to the other, so. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board. What is the name of the boy Mio has a crush on? Hey! You're going to ask that kind of question? Doesn't everyone ask this kind of stuff with spirit boards? Besides, I'm curious. No, let's not do this. Huh. It said no. Guess that must mean you don't have a crush on anyone. Phew. Yeah, that's it. No is correct. Let's move on. Or maybe... Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board. Do you mean the boy isn't in our class? Wow. Hey, stop that. Don't make me exercise you. That's the case then. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board. Is it a teacher at our school? Oh, thank God. Oh, no good, huh? Yako, cut it out already. We made the effort to sneak in at night. We shouldn't waste time with these questions. I've got a point. Okay, here I go. Be serious now. Yes, please. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board. Did Michio Shiraishi in our class, who died by committing suicide by jumping 1 week ago, really commit suicide? So, it really wasn't. I'm not surprised. Never believed it from the start. Now's the important part. Yeah. Michio and Yako formed a long-lasting friendship during childhood, with Yako's unbending, uncompromising attitude deeply influencing Michio. However, beneath her strong exterior, Michio had been punishing herself too hard and keeping her emotions bottled up to the point that they risked overflowing. Following her father's death 3 years ago and moving to a new house, Michio began avoiding Yako. Although the two remained in the same area of town and attended the same high school, they gradually grew further apart. Yako herself worried for her childhood friend, but incapable of wading into complexities of Michio's home life, kept her distance. The days passed, and though Michiyo longed to confess everything to Yako, the moment to do so never came. Michiyo carried an old talisman, a memento of her father, with her at all times. O specter of the spirit board, did Michiyo Shiraishi die in an accident? It said yes. So it was an accident, not a suicide. Michiyo. Then, did she slip and fall from that apartment building? Huh. She didn't. What do you mean? Michiyo didn't die falling from the apartment building? No way. If that were true, then why was she lying on the ground like that in the back alley of the apartment building? It was an accident, but not a fall? Oh, specter of the spirit board. What happened to Michiyo on that day? Seems like it doesn't know the details. Then, how about O specter of the spirit board? You want to use that? Try using 5 yen. That's a huge step up from a 10 yen piece. We want to use the rite of resurrection to bring Michiyo back to life. Do you know where the rite of resurrection is? I wonder. Huh? What is this? Stop. I'm scared, Mio. Calm down. You can't let go before it's over. Such deep sorrow, a resentful memory is flowing into my mind. Kill them. Those who hear this sound, kill them all. You've acquired the power of the cursed stone, the Fool's Procession. You can use it to kill those who hear the sound produced by the curse echo for more than 30 seconds. The effect will be negated if you are seen in that time. Press the use curse to produce the sound. Okay. So this one was... So they heard music. The music would fade. Procession of the Tanuki. Omiyo stood atop the tall festival tower. It was her time to shine. She was ecstatic. It had been years since she joined the troupe, but she had yet to enjoy her day in the spotlight. She wasn't particularly pretty, nor was she all that talented. As a gossip and a loudmouth, she wasn't well liked by her peers. Some of the other girls thought of her as a teacher's pet and bullied her. I don't care about them, she thought. I'll use this chance to make something of myself. Everything was perfect. She wore a beautiful kimono and an okami mask over her face. The stage was set. The accompaniment began. She danced with everything she had. Applause rained down upon her from the crowd. Her breathing hastened with excitement. I've got to catch my breath. That's strange. I can't take my mask off. The smell of glue assaulted her nostrils. So that's how it is. I knew it was too good to be true. Her screams were drowned out by the music as she squirmed and struggled. Omiyo is giving it her all today. We have to keep up. The crowd livened even more. No, please. Someone help me. She fell from the tower, writhing in pain, as she begged those around her for help. The music stopped in time with Omiyo's heart. Well, that was depressing. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick, black tar. Now. Kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. Flashback time. Hey, do you hear? Someone from our school committed suicide. What? Really? Who? I heard that Michio from Class C, right? No way. Michio? She'd been acting pretty strange lately. Still can't believe it. You hear the suicides on the news, but for it to happen here? It's a little scary. By the way, isn't there a girl who transferred into Class C recently? Oh, I heard about her. She's gloomy. Doesn't stand out much. Did you know that the school she was at before she transferred also had a suicide? What, for real? Seems like kind of fishy. Did you know? I heard Michio's mom remarried last year. They say her new stepdad is a total jerk. Really? How so? Like, he'd peek on her while she changes. Couldn't keep his hands off her. I even heard he's an ex-con. If she resists him, he gets violent. It's so scary. No way, I couldn't take that. I'd probably think about killing myself too if I had to deal with someone like that at home. Kids suck. Okay. Did you hear about Michio in Class C? Yeah, she seemed like the stereotypical honor student in her first year, but she stopped showing up to class and her grades started dropping after her third semester. So she offed herself because her grades are bad? No fair. Just thinking about practice tests makes me want to die too. All anyone cares about is test results. I do not miss high school, even a little bit. There might be some of you who already know, but a member of our class, Michio Shiraishi, passed away last night. Okay, calm down. I know this comes as a surprise, but please be quiet. Cause of death is still under investigation. There's nothing we know for certain at the moment. Detailed investigation reports will come from the police, so please don't go spreading any rumors, got it? We're sending everyone home for today. No dilly-dallying on your way. School will be off tomorrow as well. Hey you, stop celebrating, show some respect. There will be a memorial service scheduled next week at the school assembly, if anyone wishes to pay their respects individually. Yako? Sorry to bug you. It's just, you seem a little different from your usual self. I hope I'm not being nosy. But, thanks, Mio. Was I acting that strangely? Yeah, enough to make me worry. If you want to talk, I'm happy to listen. Yeah, this is perfect timing. There's actually something I wanted to ask you. Yeah? You know that spirit board thing that everyone's been doing? Where you summon a spirit and ask it whatever you want? Yeah, I know it. I want to try it out. There's something I want to know. Why are you telling me this? I mean, you seem like the type to know this stuff. I do? Yeah. You look like you're really into that occult stuff. You know, you've got that kind of gloomy look. Huh. I don't know how I should feel about that. But you do know how to do it, right? Well, yes. I think I probably know a little more than most. Okay, please help me. You're my only hope. Okay, please help me. You're my only hope. Okay, I gotta convince her. Michio, I wonder why she had to die. She didn't leave a note or anything, but they announced it was a suicide. That can't be right. She would never kill herself. Michio was so happy and always looked on the bright side of things. She loved coming to school. I know she was going through some hard times, but for her to kill herself? I never got a chance to speak with her. She was often absent from school, and when she did come, and she looked depressed. You're right. And that's why everyone was so willing to accept that she committed suicide. They acted like they cared, but all they did was gossip about it. They put together little pieces of information and spread rumors like it's the truth. Isn't that terrible? Yes, it is. I've heard some that are really awful. In the end, the only reason they're able to say stuff like that is because they aren't personally involved. It's true that she didn't get along with her new stepdad and that her grades went down. But to say things like, "How sad, no wonder she killed herself," how dare they? She always told me she was okay whenever I talked with her because I was worried. She would have told me if there was something bothering her so badly she'd kill herself over it. I won't let Michio's death be written off like this. Like, maybe she got caught up in something bad. Something bad? People have been talking about that body found in former Yasuda Gardens, right? Some are saying that this town is cursed or something. Yes, there has been a strange feeling around things recently. Hey, Mio? You know about the rite of resurrection, right? Yeah, it's that thing Mr. Araishi apparently discovered and wrote an article about. I doubt there's many people who don't know. He's always talking about it. Do you believe it's real? Huh? Well, sounds a little too good to be true to me. But on the off chance that it really works, we could bring Michio back to life with it. I want to find if there's even the slightest chance of bringing Michio back. But how will you look for it? Right, that's the thing. The thing you want to ask it, is it? Yeah, I want to know about the truth behind Michio's death, and where the rite of resurrection is hidden. I see. I don't know if getting the answer to those questions will be as easy as you hope. Please, the teachers and police aren't any help. There's only so much I can do. If there's even the slightest chance, then... well... okay. If that would make you feel better, then I'll help. Yes! Thank you, Mio! Okay, then tomorrow after dark. South Origesui Street. So this is possible. I was like, I know I remember reading about this particular street, and that is attached to the foot washing mansion. Don't know if that means he's necessarily the one who had something to do with her death, but it is suspicious. I also need to, I'm guessing because of her curse type, turn the voice volume. Wait, I don't want it to be that loud. Oh. There we go. Huh? Ah! Are you awake, Yako? Yeah. What happened? You can't remember? Let's see. We used a spirit board and I suddenly heard something, like this weird voice. And then I passed out? Yes, as far as I can tell, you aren't experiencing any negative effects. I think it was just mild shock from how sudden it was. Huh. Was everything okay with the spirit? It was almost bad, but I got it to leave. More importantly, what is that thing in your hand? My hand? Whoa, what the heck is this? It looks so freaky. When did I get this? Oh, there's so much anger and hatred held within it. It looks a little like tools that were used for ancient curses. What? It's so scary. Yako, you just said you heard a strange voice, right? Could you tell me what you heard? Anything you can recall. I think it might be connected to that object. Let's see. It felt like I was at the bottom of a dark place. Then this voice felt like it was echoing in my mind. After that, it just kept shouting, "Kill them." I see. Thank you. Yako? I think you may have exactly what you need in order to use the rite of resurrection. A curse with the power to take people's lives and turn them into soul dregs. What? You mean this is a real curse? I know I said I wanted to use the rite of resurrection to bring Michio back, but why? Why me? It makes no sense. Yako, please calm down and listen. But how can I? I mean, you might be used to these kind of things, Mio, but I'm not. I didn't even really believe in the occult, much less think that the spirit board would actually work. But now, after something like that, what choice do I have but to believe? And not only that, but a curse that can kill people? What am I supposed to do about that? I know it's only natural to feel that way. Anyone would feel confused. But first, you need to calm down. Take a big, deep breath. Right. And then they did their DBT time. Yes, just like that. In moments like this, the more troubled your heart is, the more its weaknesses are exposed. Exposed? Have you calmed down? Yeah. I'm sorry about panicking. It's okay. Fear is something we feel in the face of the unknown. Long ago, people would give names to phenomena they couldn't understand in order to live with them. However, modern-day developments in science and culture have pushed for the rejection of things that can't be measured. And so the paranormal has been treated like it doesn't exist. But they've been around since a long, long time ago. If you just understand, you can see that there's nothing to be afraid of. First, calming down is the most important. Accept reality for what it is. I only really gave this stuff a shot because it was popular, but you really do have a connection with this stuff, don't you? Well, I suppose to an extent. Hey, Mio, what do I do? Where do I start? Am I cursed? Am I going to die? It's okay. I'll take care of the curse. That's why I'm here in the first place. What? Trust me. I'll take care of things. It'll be all right. Thanks. I was the one who dragged you along to do the spirit board. It's fine. You're desperate to find a way to try and help your friend. But spirit boards are dangerous. You have to take them seriously. So I'm glad you invited me. Alright, let's review everything we've learned so far and think of how to move forward. Okay. What is this curse? Am I cursed? Well, I've only looked into it a little. But I wouldn't say you're cursed. It's more like you've gained the ability to use the power of the curse. So there shouldn't be any kind of negative paranormal effect on you. The power to use a curse? Do you mean this curse stone? Yes, if the curse stone is used under certain conditions, a curse will be placed on someone, taking their life and turning it into soul dregs. Soul dregs are said to be required to enact the rite of resurrection. Normally, a curse is a spell that would only be usable by an onmyoji of considerable talent. I believe that curse stones make it so that even normal people can use them. So, someone like me with no knowledge could curse someone? Yes, but it's still nothing to take lightly. You could end up having it redirected right at you. Tell you the truth, something unusual did happen while we were using the spirit board. It happened right around midnight, I think. This whole area seems to be under the effect of the Feast of Shadows. The Feast of Shadows? Yes, it's a type of spell that temporarily boosts the potency of the supernatural. It also has the effect of making the powers of certain curse echoes manifest more easily. Judging by its strength, I'd say it probably covers about a 3 to 4 kilometer radius. 3 to 4 kilometers. It's big enough to cover all of Sumida City. Yes, I think the Feast of Shadows was used to cause the resentment lingering in the area to manifest as curse stones. Someone did this. But who? I don't know enough to say, but it's likely that it was done by someone who wants to uncover the rite of resurrection. This isn't something to happen naturally. I see. Okay. Effectiveness is dependent on the abilities of the user. It's possible to limit the scope and range. Okay. A curse stone's power can only be used in this area under the influence of the Feast of Shadows. The effects also only appear after the sun has set. By setting a limit on when they can be used, the curses are strengthened. So the curses can't be used outside this area or during the day. Correct. But speaking of limits, to actually use a curse to kill someone, it seems there are conditions that need to be met. Conditions? You mean, like how my curse echo needs someone to listen to the sounds it makes for 30 seconds? To be honest, I don't really understand it. Like, how do I even summon the curse echo or make the sound? Do I just, will it? Do you mind if I try? Stop. You shouldn't be using curses so willy-nilly. Even if there are conditions that have to be met, the power to kill someone without leaving behind evidence is dangerous enough. In that sense, maybe you really have been cursed. I'm sorry you got wrapped up in this situation, even though I'm here with you. That curse stone. I think whoever holds it becomes a curse bearer. It would probably be best for me to hold on to it, but then I'd feel bad about forcing it on you. No, I sense a powerful force rejecting me. I don't think I'd be able to take it. Really? Why? If we tried separating it from you, the curse may trigger. That's how bad I sense it wants to stay with you. No way. That curse stone might look like nothing more than an old Netsuke carving, but I can sense a powerful, resentful energy from it. I don't think it's a good idea for me to even touch it. It may seem like I know what I'm doing, but I don't know how to handle something this powerful. Really, this little thing? If we threw it away and someone with bad ideas picked it up, it could be bad. I think it would be safer to avoid the risk of getting anyone else involved. and have you hold on to it for now. Oh no, I'm kind of freaked out. Anyways, we need to make it to daybreak. I think the curse should weaken once it's morning. I'll help you find a way to deal with it then. Okay. So there are 2 things you should remember. First, do not fulfill the conditions while it's night. Second, should you happen to fulfill the conditions, don't use the curse. Right. The mysterious voice said the curse stone is called the Fool's Procession, right? Yeah. It's from the 7 Mysteries of Honjo, right? Our school is said to be connected with a story of the same name, one of the mysteries. Right. I don't think it's a coincidence. This is just a guess, but it's possible that you were chosen because it could feel your desire for the rite of resurrection. If this is a curse of the 7 Mysteries of Honjo, then it's possible that there are others who received curses associated with the other mysteries. Yeah, the voice also said that there are other curse bearers, or whatever you called them. Not only that, apparently you can get a lot of soul dregs by killing a curse bearer. Right, that's certainly not good. Even if we have no intention of killing others with the curse, there's a chance you may be targeted if other curse bearers find us. Eep! We'll have to avoid anyone who has another of the curses. That means we should avoid people at night as much as possible. But, Mio, yes? This curse is real. That means it could bring back Michio if I used it, right? The rite of resurrection would be real, too. Yes, that's true. But you can't do that, Yako. But it feels like it's not the time to worry about that kind of stuff. If Michio died in an accident, then I'm sure she didn't want to die. What's the issue with putting a little curse on a complete stranger? I sort of feel like it wouldn't be a big deal. What's going on with you? You're not acting like yourself, Yako. You would never even consider taking the life of another person. Is it the curse's influence on you? Maybe the curse echo's grudge is rubbing off on you. Will you show me it for a second? Is there something inside it? No, stop! Yako? I'm sorry. But it's like I just suddenly really didn't want you to touch it. I understand. I'm sorry. But you need to give up on the rite of resurrection. What? Because that's the real curse. Using resurrections as a lure tempts curse bearers into using their curses. You have to resist it. Don't let yourself be deceived by some curse. But Michio could. I think for tonight, we should get you home to rest. I'll walk you. The curse's influence should subside in the morning. Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you that you need to give up on the rite. It's beyond us. Even a single curse stone alone is too much to handle. Bringing back the dead isn't something so simple. I know how much it hurts, but please focus on just worrying about surviving tonight. Even now, we're in great danger. Okay, let's get going then, shall we? We'll take the same route we took to get here. Right. We'll be fine, right? There's no one else at school, is there? I think so. The night shift janitor shouldn't be patrolling this late at night either. Huh? What? Why'd the lights go out? Mio? Are you okay? Someone's gonna kill her. She's not here. What's happening? Where are you? What's that? Get me out of here. Mio, where are you? Yakko, I'm here. Over here, can you see me? Huh? Where? I can't see anything. There you are, Mio. This way, over here. Be careful, your field of vision is being limited. Right. Hey, Mio. What was that just now? Could it be another curse echo different from mine? I think so, yes. It may have been discovered by another curse bearer. Oh. What's wrong? Shh. Someone's there, in that classroom. What? Something moved inside. Well, it might be the curse bearer who used that curse echo just now. If we could see who it is, it might help us decide what to do later. That's true. Okay, be careful. Well, can you see anything? Try and get a look around. Ah. Huh? Is that our homeroom teacher, Mr. Jonochi? And the person with him is Hitomi from Class A? What? Oh my, what is going on here? That bastard. He's at it again. I have to kill him. I won't let him get away with this. What? The curse. I could kill him with it. No, Yakko, you can't use the curse stone. What's gone into you? Resist it. Who's there? Is someone there? This is bad. We have to go before they see us. Okay. Alright, so this bit about seeing him, I think, is the only new information from when we talked to him yesterday. It seems like they're not coming after us. Let's hope they didn't see our faces. But Yakko, what came over you all of a sudden? Sorry. Thanks for stopping me. It's like this uncontrollable rage suddenly welled up inside me. I wonder what's gotten into me. I can barely even remember what happened. I'm really sorry. I do think it's partly the curse's influence on you, but we certainly saw something shocking. My heart's still pounding. I'm a little surprised, Hitomi from Class A. She tends to stand out a lot. Gotcha. Well, she certainly does dress like a delinquent, though she barely shows up to school. But could Mr. Jonochi or Hitomi really be a curse bearer? I don't know. We should be careful just in case. Yakko? When I give the signal, run. Go straight for the entrance. Don't look back no matter what. Huh? Why? Did something happen? Something happened, didn't it? What about you, Mio? I'll be fine. We'll meet up outside the school gates. If I'm not there in 10 minutes, go straight home, okay? Okay. Go. Right. Don't look back. Don't look back. I have to get outside. Let's see. To get to the gates, I go by the gym and... What are you doing, miss? You shouldn't be here this late. Don't you know what time it is? Oh, Mr. Ashimiya. Well, if it isn't little Yako. Anyway, students ain't supposed to be outside playing around at night. Makoto is the janitor at Komegata High School. His predecessor was nearing retirement, so he began working at this replacement about 6 months ago. Makoto is popular among the students for his friendly and caring nature, going so far as to remember the names and faces of all those attending the school. He is affectionately known as Old Man Ashimiya. Although he appears to be a simple, amiable man, Makoto's occasional shrewd remarks have led to speculation among students that he may have led a far more interesting life than it seems. Whatever the truth may be, he will be remembered as one of the 7 mysteries of Komegata High School for some time to come. I know you're rough around the edges, but I didn't take you for one to act like this. Sorry, I forgot something back in the classroom. No sass today, huh? Realized you were in the wrong, did you? Yes. Forgot something in your classroom, huh? Your piece of work. But you don't have nothing with you. Oh. Wait. You do? What's that in your hand? Huh? Well, this is what I forgot. I, got it from my grandpa. It's really important to me. Girls these days sure have weird tastes. Well, okay. Better head straight home if you're done. I won't tell on you. No, wait. I can't let you walk home alone this late. All right. Wait just a little. I'll hurry back and lock things up. But... I mean, Mio did tell us to go straight home. But if he locks up, then she's locked in the school. And that seems bad. Actually, a friend of mine is still inside. I think they'll be here soon. That's so. Who's your friend? My classmate Mio Kurosuzu. Ah, the transfer student? Breaking school rules already, huh? Didn't take her for the type. No, I was the one who dragged her here. Well, whatever. I'll go take a look. It'll be safer if you go home together. Oh, right. She's in the first floor hallways. Be careful, though. You don't know what might be there. What's that supposed to mean? First floor, yeah? I'll be right back. She's late. I've been waiting for 20 or 30 minutes, but there's no sign of her. I'm starting to get worried. I'm going to take a look. Mio, are you there? Huh? Mio, what happened? Where did I go wrong this time? It's my fault. It's all my fault. I left her alone with a curse bearer. Mio. I'm sorry, The truth is... So that was a bad end. Yeah, I figured nothing good could come from going back in there. Oh, hello, I haven't seen you in a while. My, alien, you seem to have arrived at a less than favorable result. This was bound to happen. There's someone who must not be trusted. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? If so, you may choose to withhold important information from that person. Oh, fear not. You may try as many times as you like from the event in question. Maybe it was the janitor we shouldn't have trusted. Maybe the janitor's the one who did it. Very well. But then, if the janitor has a curse echo, though, then why didn't he challenge... unless it has to do with the curse that he has. If it wasn't easy to get to me. Alright. Oh, right. Mr. Janochi was actually looking for you inside the main building. I don't know, he was in class 3B on the second floor just a bit ago. Well, suppose that means it can't be locking up yet. Second floor, you said. I'll go take a peek. Be back in a jiff. My house is really close by. I'll be fine on my own, really. That's so. The snack shop, right? Suppose you'll be fine then. Be careful now, you hear? Stay on the big well-lit streets. If something happens, shout fire. Okay, you worry too much. Well, wouldn't want to be losing any more students. Though I imagine you'd know that better than anyone. Yes, you're right. Okay, well, we're not dead. So that's a plus. Mio's late. I've been waiting for 20 or 30 minutes, but there's no sign of her. Huh? There's someone coming down the road. Okay, so it's the professor who has the disembowelment curse? Forget which one of that was. Unless it's already been taken from him, I don't know how this lines up with the police's timeline. Oh no, a teacher, Mr. Raishi. He looks on edge. I wonder what he's doing. Wait, he's the one who discovered the rite of resurrection. It wouldn't be strange for him to be involved with the curses. I wonder if he has a curse stone. What do I do? But it's way past the 10 minutes. Mio said she'd be here by... I managed to escape. I can't let that go to waste. I need to get out of here before anyone sees me. I'm home. Thank goodness. I don't think the walk has ever felt so long. Nobody will be able to use their curse once it's light outside. I need to go look for Mio as soon as it's morning. But for now, I need some rest. Okay. So that's all we can do here so far. So I gotta figure out what's here. So there's some choice that we can make, I think. Okay, I think I have to go further back. Okay, I think we said curse stones last time. Maybe if we ask something else, we'll learn something different. Let's say... So far, everything is the same. I don't think I hid the curse details before. Curse stones could never be used as evidence. If you want it, you'll have to take it by force. I find it hard to imagine that an officer of the law would use a curse on a citizen. You can't touch me, which means I have no reason to continue this conversation. Okay, so that doesn't work. Okay, this is the only thing I can think, because I didn't use the curse at all when I was playing this route. There were two opportunities. There was the one with the Weasley guy with the foot washing mansion, and then there's this guy. I'm just gonna see what happens if I use it. I see. Good. Now why don't you hand over that stone? Unless you'd rather try using it on me instead. Damn you. I won't give it to you. If I were to say that, what would happen? Would it be a crime? Okay, this is the same. Did I not click it? Because he didn't use it. Yeah, the rest of this is the same. Guessing he wants to save his curse, he wouldn't last us. Okay, I don't know if it's that I didn't click it properly. If that's not the solution, or if there's something else that I'm missing. But it has to be that I need to do something different here. Let's try saying some different text just in case. Everything else is pretty much the same. We're gonna watch this scene a lot. Yeah, so this is like here, the corner. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, I probably just didn't click it. Well, no, because this is exactly the same. How does this curse work again? Files. Yeah, it just says it shouldn't be anything else that I need to do. Looks like a Venture Brothers character. Yeah, this is just exactly the same. Okay, so it doesn't seem like this one changes. Can I do anything here? Oh, it's that weird woman who follows the foot washing mansion guy around. Where did she come from? It's like she appeared out of nowhere. I didn't mean to startle you. I'm terribly sorry if I've gotten the wrong people, but would you happen to be curse bearers? Curse bearers? What's that then? It means someone who's gathering souls for the rite of resurrection. You have heard of the rite of resurrection, haven't you? Everyone's talking about it. Color me intrigued. Care to tell me more, Miss... What was your name again? Oh, silly me. I'm Ayame Tono. She says her name's Ayame. I'd guess she's around 20. She must be brave, walking around alone this late. Or maybe there's more to it. There's more to the rite of resurrection than meets the eye, you see. So the best way to collect soul dregs is to kill other curse bearers. And that's about the size of it. I hope it wasn't too much to follow. No, I think I got the gist. Funny old world we live in, huh? So, are you saying you're one of these curse bearers? No, well, not quite. It's complicated. I'm not, but Yutaro is. Yutaro. Is that your boyfriend? Oh heavens no, just a friend. His full name is Yutaro Namigaki. I suppose you could say partners in crime. Funny way of putting it. That must be it. She must be half of the young couple Richter mentioned. So, where is this Yutaro now? Well, about that, he's not actually a curse bearer anymore. He's more like a former curse bearer. Former? How so? I don't really know the details myself, but apparently he lost his curse stone. Typical, right? He makes such a show of being a top student only to flunk where it counts. So now I'm out here looking for curse bearers myself, if you want something done right. He lost it? How'd he do that? I wasn't with him at the time, so I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is that he came back saying he didn't have it anymore. Although, well... It's strange that you'd probe into that of all things. I'm just curious sort, that's all. Sorry if it's a touchy subject. Oh, I don't mind. I don't particularly care about keeping it a secret. She is so weird. Yutaro can be a little irrational sometimes, so I have to keep a level head on my shoulders. So anyway, mind if I asked why you thought I was a curse bearer? Oh, that? I'm terribly sorry I was so rude. I saw the two of you out late at night, and I suppose I made assumptions. Gotcha. Sorry if we gave you the wrong idea. Out of interest, what was your plan if we did turn out to be curse bearers? Great question, and the answer is, I was going to ask you very nicely for your curse stones. And you thought we'd have given them to you, just like that? Well, maybe not. But you know what they say. You never know until you ask. You must really love your boyfriend if you're willing to try something that risky. Oh goodness no, we're just friends. My life doesn't revolve around him, you know. Anyway, you aren't curse bearers, so I'm just bothering you, aren't I? Please ignore me. So what are you trying to do with this rite of resurrection? Well, Yutaro has his own plan all laid out. I don't know if I can get behind it, though. It seems, how do I put it, self-centered? I mean, if you got a chance to resurrect the dead, it would be a waste not to use it on someone that really matters, right? So I was planning to steal his curse stone at the last second and use it for myself. Well, until he lost it anyway. Oh, but don't tell Yutaro I was going to do that, okay? I don't think he'd be happy to hear it. My brother Nagito attends Hope Speak Academy. We met. Of course, keeping secrets is my business. My, aren't you dashing? Sounds like you really have your heart set on this, right? What were you hoping to use it on? Do you promise you won't laugh? Cross my heart. Well then, let me tell you my master plan. Prepare to be amazed. Ahem. I'm an art student, you see. Woodblock prints are my specialty, ukiyo in particular. Ukiyo, huh? You must be a cultured lady. Really? Do you think so? Everybody says it's a strange interest for a girl to have. You know, people often think of ukiyo as some inaccessible high-class art form, but that's actually totally untrue. Back in the Edo period, it was the art for the masses, amusement for the common people. So when you think about it, we feel exactly the same thrills from every brushstroke as they did back then. Isn't that fascinating? Huh. Yeah, I guess. And as far as I'm concerned, the undisputed king of ukiyo is the one and only Hakusai. Have you heard of him? Sure I have. He's famous. Didn't you live somewhere around here back in the Edo period? That's right. You're just as knowledgeable as you look. His 36 views of Mount Fuji are so iconic. They're the only works of his that most people know. But Hokusai was so much more than just mountains and waves. That's only the teeny tiny tip of a veritable iceberg of work. Gotta admit, I only really know him from those landscapes myself. Oh, don't worry about it. Anyone can learn. When Hokusai died at the age of 90, he left behind over 30,000 drawings. That's multiple drawings a day for 80 years. Amazing, right? So he kept on drawing right up until his old age, huh? Impressive. But even in his final years, he was never satisfied with his own work. His dying words were, "Should heaven afford me but 5 more years, I shall finally become a true artist." Even on his deathbed, he still thought he had more to learn. He was already the greatest painter and artist of his era. Who knows what he could have done with more time? Well, that's what I want to find out. Hold on. Are you saying... Besides, he always said he wanted to move out of 100 houses, but he only made it to 93. Isn't that just tragic? Oh, no. Nuh-uh. No way. This is going where I think it's going. Imagine the masterpieces he could create with modern techniques. I feel all dizzy just thinking about it. You've got to be kidding me. So if I understand correctly, you want to use the rite of resurrection to... That's right. I want to bring Hokusai back to life. That's certainly a novel idea. She fucking hates her guts. That's what she'd use it on? What a waste. Oh gosh, is that the time? I should be going. I need to get my hands on a curse bearer before daybreak. Sorry for flagging you down out of the blue like that. Best of luck. Ayame is a clever but calculating university student who only has time for her own interests. She's making the most of a recent boom in popularity of female university students incited by their appearances across TV commercials and radio programs. Ayame is content to ride this train so long as it allows her to get her hands on whatever she needs and wants in life. Recently, Ayame has figured out that older men will fall for her if she acts a little bit stupid. She was approached by Yutaro Namigaki in town, and although she was not attracted to him, agreed to date him because his family seemed rich. However, she does not think much of him as a human being and is beginning to grow bored of their relationship. Basically. Well, there goes trouble. If we're going after curse stones, we should keep an eye on her, 2 if we can. Why do you say that? Before she left, she wished us best of luck. She's got at least an inkling that we're curse bearers. My. There's a good chance we'll clash sooner or later. We're after the same thing, after all. You head on back to the mansion, ma'am. I think I'll tail her for a while. Back here again. I left Richter to continue looking for curse bearers, and came home alone. The old Shigima mansion. We rebuilt it here after the Great Kanto earthquake. It's always stayed the same all these years. Even the war didn't touch it. I never liked it growing up. I always wanted to live somewhere more modern. Anything else? Oh, look, it's another sticker. Oh, I think I was supposed to be looking for these. So I've missed 3 birds. There we go. An ostrich in a helmet. The ostracizer. That's fantastic. Much better than Monokuma stickers. Alright, I don't think there's anything else. Let's have a think. Will this really be enough to gather the soul dregs I need? What if nobody uses any more curses? I'll lose my chance to bring him back. I can hear the wind rustling in the trees. Okay. Yeah, nothing else. Let's go inside. Alright, okay, so we did need to progress that story, and now we're further in the timeline, so we can come back here. Good to know for how to progress later, because I assume we're going to hop back and forth the whole time. Well, with this, we'll have visited every place connected to the 7 mysteries. This is the last spot, huh? We've got nothing to show for it, even though every last location looked suspect from top to bottom. Maybe we came at the wrong time. There might not have been any curse bearers around. Sounds like we'll need to do another round before morning comes in. Or maybe someone's been observing our movements. What? No way. It's just a thought. Either way, we should check out this last place. Let's hope we finally get a lead. Okay, so this is where, yeah, he's dead at this point. Sorry, dude. Is Yoko also dead here? Or just him? No, Yoko went home. That's the timeline we're in. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. What the hell is this? Is he dead? Damn it. We were too late. Was this a curse, too? Hang on. I'm going to call this in. I'll leave it to you. I'm going to take a look around. Boss, bad news. What is it? Another mysterious death was reported in the area just now. The medical unit and forensics team are on their way, but it'll be a while before they arrive. Ah, that is bad news. So they got someone else. You think this is the work of a curse bearer? With suspicious deaths popping up one after another, we have to assume it is. Shit. Guess we'll be stuck waiting around for a while. Okay, not something we can click. Huh? Boss, that phone is ringing. Why would I wait? Well, we better go check it out. You're right, but be careful. Could be a curse. Hey, I said we. You expect me to go alone? You're the one who's tough against this stuff. Don't worry, boss. You can do it. Go on now. Damn it. Hello? Kinshibori Park phone booth. Evening, Detective Tsutsumi. How are things looking out there? Who is this? I finally got him. The real deal. Detective Tetsuo Tsutsumi himself. Oh wait, that's Chief Inspector Tsutsumi now, isn't it? I've come a long way since we last met. I asked you to identify yourself. Man, have you forgotten already? After all the time we spent together? What a time that was. As I recall, I gave you quite the runaround. Wait, is this Fumichika Nejima? What? Did you just say Fumichika Nejima? Like, the one from the Nejima murders? Ding ding ding, you got it. I had a feeling that the great Chief Tsutsumi would remember me. I spent 20 long years in a cell thanks to you. That shit was not easy. You should be thanking me. Should have given you plenty of time to think and atone for your sins. That it did. I've repented. My conscience is clean as a whistle. Bullshit. 20 years in prison doesn't even begin to make up for the shit you did. I don't know about that. After all, the justice system was gracious enough to grant me parole. What? If this is the real Fumichika Nejima, he must still have a grudge against me for arresting him. So is this payback? Damn it. What is your goal? Now, you gotta understand. I've repented, seen the light, been a good boy since I was granted parole. I even got myself a job, been real serious about walking the right path. Was very nice, keep it up. But it was no good. When the opportunity arose, it was impossible to hold myself back. I knew I had to give a little token of thanks, or I'd never truly be able to have a fresh start. Do you get what I'm saying? No thanks. I don't need anything. No need to do all that for me. Just try and live a quiet life. Oh, it's no hassle. No hassle at all. It would be all too easy to just kill you, tear you apart. But that wouldn't be very satisfying, certainly not after 20 fucking years of waiting. That's a long time to nurture a grudge. You fucking bet it is. I let it gnaw at me, grow inside me. I thought of nothing else. All that time I played model prisoner, endured the harassment those asshole guards threw at me, and I did it all for you, Tsutsumi. So please, just accept my deepest and most sincere feelings. Sorry, but I'm afraid I don't feel the same way about you. Shut the fuck up. That attitude of yours is why I'm saving you for last. This is so over the top. I don't know how to feel about it. What are you planning? Whatever it is, bring it on. I'm not running away. I just told you, I'm not coming for you yet. Pay attention when people talk, shithead. You see, this time I want to see you on your knees, weeping in despair, begging me for mercy. Wah. Oh no. I'm so sorry, dear Nejima. Please forgive me. I won't do it again. Shut the fuck up. This is exactly why I've always hated you so fucking much. It was worth a shot. Did you really think that would sate me, asshole? You must be crazy. Well then, we're both crazy. We've got so much in common. We should be friends. Enjoy cracking your jokes while you still can. I'm going to kill everyone you care about, one by one, till there's no one left. Sorry to disappoint, but I'm a lone wolf. I don't have anyone like that in my life. Boss, what about me? Oh, wait. You trying to protect me? There's not a single person you care about. I wonder what your sweet daughter would think if she were to hear that. Don't you fucking dare. I'm warning you. Ooh, very nice. This is more like it. She's living all on her own now, isn't she? Attending university and all. Such a good girl. Oh my. Don't tell me that she just happens to live in Honjo. What? She does? No, forget it. This isn't funny, asshole. I'm going to find you and make you pay. I love it. Keep going. I want to hear you lose your mind. It's music to my ears. It's giving very, like, evening crime drama. Like the kind of stuff my parents watch. And it's very over the top. I look forward to chopping up your precious daughter. It'll be just like old times. I won't let that happen. Okay. Let's move to the next point. How do you know where I am? It's my favorite part. The sound of confusion in your voice is to die for. This is delicious. I can't get enough. I'm not telling you shit. Have fun racking your tiny little brain for it. I guess I could give you a little hint. Go on. Well, you see, I have the one-sided read. Okay, so he... Wait, doesn't that mean he's in the park? Or no, the read is different from the canal thing. Yeah, the Whispering Canal. So the read... And the read is the same one from 20 years ago. So he found his old curse again. And wait, that one was, hold on. Oh, we don't know what happens with this one. But he did, this guy did attack people with a dagger. So it's very likely, I wonder, I mean, there was speculation that the janitor might be Nejima, because what's-her-name had seen him lurking around, and she found out that he had been released on parole. And if Mio died and he's the one who killed her, rather than the teacher then that's, I mean, she was like bleeding and stuff, so that's why I'm like, it was probably him. Okay, so basically every crime investigation show after season 3, they ran out of ideas and just have psychopaths elaborately targeting the main character. Yeah, it's exactly what's happening, and doing it in such like an over the top, gleeful, gratuitous fashion, and like the fact that they're on, like, they're talking through like a public payphone, like, it's all just really silly. Tsutsumi, you have the evergreen beach, no? Neijima, you're a curse bearer? You're using the power of the curse? Indeed, what a peculiar curse it is. But that's where my hits end. God damn it, Curse Echo couldn't have fallen into worse hands. Ah, one more thing we should discuss. In fact, it's the most important thing. I thought you were going to shut up. I'm already sick of you, so I'll pass. Oh, but you don't want to miss this. It's the main course. I could just go after your daughter, but something tells me you'd get bored. No, I'm good. You got me real fired up. You're in my head. Well done. But this is a gift tailor-made for you. I'm going to kill all the people you swore to protect, every last person living here. You couldn't. Oh, but with this curse of mine, I can. I'll give you until dusk. By then, could probably get a couple hundred people or so. And it'll all be your fault. Oh, it must be so hard to know they all die because of you. So tragic. Must be tearing you apart. Don't fuck with me. There's no way an amateur like you could pull off a curse that strong. Unfortunately for you, I absolutely can. My curse stone is a particularly strong one, which means I can have my fun without needing to hold back one bit. It's almost like the Feast of Shadows was cast just for me. You're surprisingly well informed about this. Who was it that tipped you off? Who knows? Then how about I kill myself first and ruin all your fun? What about that, asshole? Idiot. You think I'd call it off just because you were dead? There's no running away for you. I'll find you. I won't let you get away with this, Neijima. You've got 12 hours. Do you really think your paltry little organization will be able to make a dent in my plans? Oh, the sacrifices made will be heavy. I can't wait to see you sobbing with regret. I'll even have enough soul dregs to pull off the rite of resurrection. How splendid. Wait, Neijima, you're after the... Anyway, see you around. Bye-bye now. Shogo just in the corner. Boss, Erio, did you catch all that? Neijima, what is he planning? Who knows? For now, we need to find him and get him into custody. Send word to HQ. But the fact that the 7 mysteries are wrapped up in this is going to make things tricky. You mean with Neijima being a curse bearer? Just our luck, really. It couldn't have been a worse guy. Sounds like his curse will be able to kill a lot of people at once. We like to avoid getting our investigators caught in the crossfire. We use them to find out where he is, but then we're going in alone. We should try to collect as many curse stones as we can before then. Let's hurry. Aye, aye, boss. What is this music? Later. It was reported that a total of 3 suspicious deaths were discovered that night. Neijima's threats, along with the curses, were kept secret from the general public. However, the Honjo serial killings still made international headlines following the death of police officer Hajime Yoshimi. At Tsusumi's request, a large-scale investigation was launched into Fumichika Neijima's whereabouts. Tsutsumi and Ariel themselves spent the rest of the night looking for curse bearers in the area, but their search ended in vain. And with that, the curtain closed on that cursed night. Why'd they make it seem like that was an ending? It made it seem like that plot was over. Sorry for the wait, boss, but I managed to gather some information. Took you long enough. Things at the station were pretty hectic, but I managed to get some info. Let me fill you in. Thanks. The floor is yours. A total of 3 mysterious deaths were confirmed in the area, including the one in this park. So let's start with that one. The young man we found here. He's been identified as Shogo Okie, 25 years old, a regular old office worker who worked around here. He died of asphyxiation due to water in the lungs. He drowned. He drowned in the middle of the park? It's not possible. He's gotta be a curse. It's gotta be a curse we're dealing with here. About that, boss. Isn't this park associated with one of those 7 mysteries, too? That's right, the Whispering Canal. It does seem like there'd be a link between a canal and death by drowning, don't you think? Sharp thinking, Ario. You're starting to get the hang of this. So let's assume they're related. What's next? Before that, the body of a woman was found behind a residential complex in Kamizawa. The victim has been identified as Tawoko Hayashi, 29 years old. She was an office worker who lived on her own in the area. As for the cause of death, well, yes. The entirety of her body was crushed by some kind of strong external force. No murder weapon was discovered in the area, but considering the way she was found, we're looking for something large, flat, and heavy that could have crushed her in one fell swoop. Hang on, are you saying she was stepped on? Meaning, okay. Which one would make sense for this? I don't think any of them really make sense. It's not the canal, it's not the light, it's not the fool's procession, it's not the clappers, it's not the beach, it's not the mansion. I mean, I guess it could be the mansion, but I don't think it is. Oh, it did mention crushing? Okay. We never actually saw the curse's effect because no one's used it. I mean, what's his name used it, but like we just die instantly, so we don't get to see what happens. So I guess I was just skimming too fast. All right, exactly. Crushing is the foot washing mansion's modus operandi. Also, these like floating feet crushing you to death is kind of a funny image. The place the body was discovered is also known to be related to the 7 mysteries. Then, is this Namigaki's doing? Shit, I knew he'd used it. Judging by the amount of soul dregs, the victim was just a regular person, not a curse bearer. Guess we should report this to Paranormal Affairs. Got it. And as for the 3rd victim, he was identified as Kohei Jonochi, 32, a teacher at Komegata High. He was found in the school's courtyard. Cause of death appears to be external trauma from a fall or heavy blow. The impact crushed his arms and legs. Since he was found in the middle of courtyard, he couldn't have fallen from the gymnasium or the main building. A teacher dying at school. Not just any school, Komagata houses, one of the 7 mysteries. Komagata. I know I looked this up earlier and I already forgot. Okay, yeah, the Fool's Procession. But that's weird because that's her power and we know she didn't do it. Right, it's where the Fool's Procession is supposed to be. It's too big of a coincidence. We can't rule out the possibility that this death was also the work of a curse. But it's interesting that he died seemingly as though he fell from a building because that's how the high school student died. So I wonder if Nejima, if he doesn't actually have the curse anymore, he just remembers it from having had the curse 20 years ago and is just killing people to make it seem like he still has control of it. I don't know. There's something off about it because his curse was very much about like dismembering people. I see. Either way, it seems all 3 victims can be tied to the 7 mysteries. There's probably a curse bearer at the center of it all, pulling the strings. But you've got a point. All these strange deaths do point in one direction. That's right. And Hajime's case wasn't all that different either. He also died of mysterious causes in a place connected to the 7 mysteries. Problem is, the timing doesn't match up. He died before the curses were activated. Could he have been hit by a different curse? One that didn't have anything to do with the 7 mysteries? That's a thought, but if that were the case, we'd be dealing with a powerful practitioner. One who could pull off a curse like that without using a curse stone. There aren't many people in this day and age who could do something like that. Oh, really? I see. I don't know too much about that stuff. Be more surprised if you did. Well, looking at these deaths, it seems like many of the curse bearers acted last night. We can't rule out that there were more killings from which the bodies haven't been found. Yikes, I hadn't thought of that. There is one more silver lining. Judging by my own curse stone, it seems that the curses can't be activated while the sun's out. Oh, it's good news. So basically we're safe during the daytime? Exactly. It's also likely why Nejima gave us till dusk. Ah, he must have known the curse stones couldn't be used during the day. Either way, we got till nightfall to settle this. It's time we flushed out the other curse bearers. Aye, boss. Let's do this. At the moment, we only know the identity of 4 curse bearers, you included. Yutaro Namigaki had the foot washing machine mentioned, and Hideki Araishi had the ever-burning lantern. We've got both of their curse stones. And then there's Nejima, who claims he has the one-sided reed. Yeah, that about sums it up. Okay, and then it's also added in what we know from other timelines. Or not timelines, but other side parts to the story. We'd better figure out who the remaining 5 are quick. How should we go about looking for them? There's no point searching blindly without a lead. Let's focus on other things for now. Tracking down Nejima may lead us to the other curse bearers too. Either way, he should be our top priority. He could do some real damage if we don't get him. I also want to look a little more into Yoshimi. I've got a feeling there's some connection there. Aye, aye, boss. Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. I asked around Sumida's Community Safety Bureau where Yoshimi was stationed. It seemed like he was investigating the apparent suicide of a girl named Michio Shiraishi. Ah, yeah. I heard about that. He was trying to determine whether it really was a suicide. Looking into the height of the building, the force of the impact, her wounds, all that. He must have suspected some kind of foul play, because he ordered a full investigation. But it had already been deemed a suicide, and his superiors told him not to go stirring things up. Huh. What was the evidence? Well, according to the report I found on his desk last night, the body was found at the foot of a building, a ways away from the road. There was no evidence of vehicular collision, so it was ruled a suicide, but he thought there was more to it. Yes, a truck or other flat-faced vehicle traveling at high speeds could have inflicted similar damage. In other words, sometimes a traffic accident can look an awful like a fall. So there's a chance that it wasn't a suicide. What a terrible way to go. There were no brake marks on the road, meaning it would have been a hit and run. The vehicle would have hit her without slowing down at all. This is turning into quite the grisly tale. But the vehicle couldn't have come out from a collision like that unscathed. Exactly. So I asked the traffic bureau to keep an eye out for vehicles with frontal damage. But I haven't heard back from them yet. I don't think they're looking very hard. So we've got no proof. That said, if it was a traffic accident rather than suicide, it's possible that someone silenced Yoshimi because he was on the verge of discovering the truth. It's true. You think the driver is the one who did him in? Not quite. Yoshimi had already talked to forensics in the traffic bureau, right? His death wouldn't have covered things up. Right on that. Even if the suicide was a cover-up for a hit and run, it doesn't seem like enough reason to kill a cop. Oh, that's right. Unrelated. But I got something else, too. I managed to get hold of Michio Shiraishi's address. Yoshimi went there a bunch of times over the course of his investigation. Might be a good idea for us to drop by, too. Good thinking. Hopefully that'll give us some more leads. Alright, let's move on to the next topic. Remember the girl Yoshimi met the day he died? One Hitomi Okuda. Oh, I forgot that he met with Hitomi. Hitomi was the one who was talking with the teacher when we were playing as Yoko. Or Yoka. Community safety didn't have any contact information for her on hand. Not even an address. Well, they had her parents' information, but when I called, they said they hadn't heard from her in a month. Lots of family issues from the sound of it. They even said they didn't want anything to do with her anymore. That said, she still goes to school once in a while, so we might be able to find her there. Not sure we really have the time for a stakeout right now. But she could be a key witness. Can't we have community safety track her down for us? We can ask, but it might be tricky to get it done today. For starters, Komagata High School is closed today. Ah, because of the teacher that died? That's right. Alright. But if it's not something we can do today, we may have to forget about it. Let's move on then. I got some information about Yoshimi's fiancé from community safety. Her name is Mayu Chozawa, 27 years old. She works as a beautician in the area. Look, I even managed to get a picture of her. She sure is a beauty. But... oh boy, here it comes. But what? Community safety hasn't been able to contact her since Yoshimi died. Not by phone or at her house. In other words, no response. Dead silence. There it is. Can't just be easy for once. It's definitely starting to look suspect. A crime of passion, perhaps? It is fairly common for people to be killed by a lover or spouse, but Yoshimi was well liked, and they'd been together for over 10 years. You never know. Things could be different behind closed doors. I guess so. We'll have to consider the opposite scenario, too. It could be that the same person who was out for Yoshimi is after his fiancé as well. She could be in danger. You're right. Either way, she's important to the case. HQ already has some people looking for her. We'll know as soon as she's found. Alright, my cats are actually being very astonishingly well behaved. But I am still going to feed them because it is their dinner time. So I'm going to take about 5 minutes and then I'll be back. Alright, kitty ASMR is done, so let's get back to questioning Ariel. HQ has mobilized a search unit for Nejima, but so far we haven't received any word. Guessing he wasn't at home or at work. About that, apparently he vacated his last known address a week ago. You serious? So we have no idea where he lives? It gets worse. I checked in with the factory he was working at. They told me he was only there for a month before he quit. Hold on a second. You're telling me nobody caught that? Well, I had the same thought, so I spoke to his probation officer. Turns out, he'd been doing house visits and interviews, but never bothered checking on his workplace. He also said he'd lost track of Nejima when he moved to a new place. Jeez, that's just being sloppy. I've heard that they're giving parole to just about anyone these days, because they're running out of room in the prisons. Which also means there aren't enough probation officers to go around. Dude's probably overworked. So Nejima got to fuck about unsupervised. God damn it. That asshole is annoyingly good at faking remorse, or insanity, whatever the situation calls for. Back when I arrested him all those years ago, just talking to him left a bad taste in my mouth. He's probably hiding under a false name, which will make it hard to track him down. That explained why he was so brazenly made contact. That asshole. He's mocking us. Well, for now, the paperwork to circulate his name and mugshot is being filed. It's gonna take way too long. We only have until dusk. Speaking of Nejima, yeah? Did you manage to reach your daughter? It'd be best to put her into a protective custody as soon as possible. Not yet. I can't reach her. They called. She's not picking up. Wasn't home when they went to the house either. That's not good. Does that mean she never came home? Why weren't you the one trying to reach her? Shut up. I don't have her contact info, alright? Damn. She really doesn't trust you, huh? Either way, I told her mother that it was an emergency and that we'd send an officer to find her, get her to safety. She was real reluctant, but I got her to agree. I guess it explains why you got divorced. But if you, her former father, can't find her, how the hell did Nejima do it? Former, huh? It cuts deep. Yikes, sorry. Just kind of slipped out. Anyway, I suspect it has something to do with his curse echo. Back on topic already, huh? He said his curse could kill a lot of people in a short time. It may even allow him to act from a distance. I see. The one-sided reed. What was that story about again? Something about a man stalking a woman who goes insane, chops her up. Alright. One of the more gruesome of the 7 mysteries. As for Nejima's whereabouts, all we can do is throw more people at it till we find something. I'll check in with HQ frequently to see if they've got any updates. And that's about it. Shall we continue our investigation? We could go to Komagata High School, look into Hitomi Okuda, or to Michiyo Shiraishi's house to find out more about her. He's been up all night gathering information. Must be nice to be young and have that kind of energy. But I'm glad to have him on my side. Gave me a chance to rest up. There's a lot we need to do, but not a lot we can do. This ain't looking good. We're gonna run out of time if we don't do something. Gotta keep moving. Okay, let's decide where to go. Well, I'm gonna stay because I don't like whiplash in stories. So to the high school or to Michio's neighborhood? I wish I knew. Oh, we're at the park. This makes more sense to me in terms of the map. It seems like Michio's house is at the end of this road. We don't want to intimidate them, so maybe I should go alone. The houses are really crammed together in these narrow alleyways. Strangers like us walking through definitely stand out. It really feels like old Tokyo. It's quiet. This place is normally pretty lively, full of people coming and going. But it seems like everyone's decided to stay inside because of the recent incidents. Okay. Nothing to do. So the Shiraishi's household. There's a chance that Michio didn't actually kill herself. Might be for the best that we didn't find her parents. Erio is checking the Shiraishi house at the end of the road. The street's real narrow, so two big guys like us would stick out like a pair of sore thumbs. Okay, is there anything else for me to do? Oh, well, I can take the sticker. Illegal eagle. Okay, is there like anything else? Oh, here we go. Alright, let's check the house. Oh, you're back. No luck, boss. No one home? Doesn't look like it. I knocked for a while and nobody came to the door. I glanced in the windows, but there was no sign of activity inside either. And I saw about 3 newspapers stuffed into their mailbox. Alright, I guess that means we leave. This music is a lot after everything they've been talking about. Here we are, Komagata High. Classes are suspended for the day, so the students are just kind of wandering around aimlessly. The news of the dead teacher has also attracted a fair share of rubberneckers. The atmosphere is kind of tense with this many cops around. Komagata High's gymnasium also serves as a polling place and evacuation center. A lot of the buildings around here are made of wood, but this place looks safe and sturdy. The school gate will stay locked while forensics inspects the scene of the incident. Looks like they're still busy. Let's talk to the person in charge later. Yoshimi also looked out for these students as a Sumida city officer. Juvenile delinquency has been a growing problem for years now. The school is no exception. This place isn't only connected to the case because the students were under Yoshimi's jurisdiction. It's also the site of the Fool's Procession, and of course, where that teacher was killed. Seems like a likely place to find some clues, don't you think? Alright, speaking of schools, what is it? You said paranormal affairs can't help us right now. So why don't we get that psychic high schooler you mentioned to help us? A lot of people involved in this case lead back to the school anyway, so it might make things easier to have them with us. Fugaya questioned me on the legality of working with them. You sure seem eager to exploit underage labor. Hey, who said anything about exploiting them? I just want to give our young experts the opportunity to shine. When'd you become such a smooth talker? Anyway, I'm afraid I don't know where they are. Oh, I see. I wonder if there's anyone who could help us scout out the area. Perfectly reasonable time for students to be at school, and yet I doubt this will be that simple. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's anything we can do. Yeah, I can't currently progress any further. So, that means we either go back to Harue or we go back to Yakko. Since they need... I think she's the psychic student they mentioned. So let's come back here. Oh, good morning, Yakko. Huh? Yakko, rise and shine. Huh? You're up. Huh? It's morning? Are you okay? Can you remember your name? I'm... Yes, I'm Yako Sakazaki. Good. Seems like you're fully awake. Oh, Mio. Thanks for last night. Was everything okay? Yep, still alive. I couldn't dispel the curse echo or learn the identity of who used it, but I managed to at least get away. But in that situation, it's the best you can hope for. I'm sorry I got you involved in something so dangerous. I meant to look for you as soon as the sun rose, but I was just so sleepy. Can't even remember when I fell asleep. It's okay. It's only natural to be exhausted after what you went through. Besides, I also feel bad that you've been wrapped up in all this. It's supposed to be my job to prevent that from happening. Totally not killed by the janitor. I assume it was the janitor, because that seems to be what was implied by that. But yeah, in another timeline, she's totally dead. Sorry, Mio, in alternate timeline world. Oh, yeah. You said something about that last night. Just, who are you exactly, Mio? Oh, well, the truth is, I've been trained in things having to do with the supernatural. Huh? You mean you can learn that kind of stuff like you would like with flower arrangement? I had quite the eventful childhood. Huh. Sounds like it must have been tough. Yes. It would have a long time to explain, so let's leave it at that for now. As fate would have it, I've ended up as the apprentice, or maybe more like assistant, to a notable paranormal expert. Schools have always had more paranormal disturbances because young people tend to be more susceptible to these things. I'm sent to schools that may experience something paranormal, put a stop to it before it happens. Wow, that's amazing. So it's like a part-time job you do while also being a student? Well, I do help maintain public order, but it's all part of my training, so I don't get any money. Oh, you've got it rough then, but still, it's really amazing. I've watched any episodes of Supernatural. Yeah, that's all the training one needs, right? It was so cool when you faced off against an evil spirit. I never know if I should be happy when you compliment me like that. But anyways, that's why it's up to me to resolve any paranormal issues at the school, and why I'm going to look into the cause of all this. But for now, let's head to school. Yeah. Oh, do you have your curse stone? Now that it's daytime and its power is diminished, I should be able to hold on to it. Want to give it a try? Right. I do have it, but... Yakko. Is it really so wrong? Trying to bring Michio back, I mean? I can't approve of it. The rite may seem like a dream come true, but if it involves taking the lives of other people, then... Yeah, true. I want to make sure this whole ritual ends without anyone getting hurt. That's what I believe, and what I'll put before anything else. I'm sorry, but is it okay if I hold on to it? Yakko. I promise I won't use the curse, no matter what, but maybe there's some other way. I just have this feeling that I shouldn't give up on the possibility just yet. That said, I'll help you, even if it's to stop the curses. For the Michio that still exists within me, I'll settle things so that we can move forward. Okay, but if you ever feel in danger, you can give me the curse stone at any point. Right. Thank you, Mio. Okay then, let's go. I wasn't expecting it to open the candy shop. There's so much information about it. Okay. Huh? I thought it unusually noisy. There's a big group of people and police in front of the school. Did something happen? If the police are here, then something must have. I'll go ask. Thanks. This isn't good. Huh? What happened? Don't panic, okay? The first teacher who came to work this morning found something. Oh, okay. Mr. Janochi was found dead in the middle of the school grounds. What? They're closing the school for today. But that's not all. I didn't know this either since I didn't watch the morning news, but rumors are spreading that a number of bodies were found nearby. What? There's no way. How could it be? Because of the curse? We don't know enough to say. From what I heard, Mr. Janochi's body was in the middle of the grounds. But his body was covered in bruises, like he'd fallen from somewhere high. Weird. Taking into account this unnatural death and the timing, it's very likely it has something to do with the curse. You're saying someone used their curse on him last night? Seems like it, doesn't it? That's so scary. Yeesh. So curses really do kill people. And someone used it. Shh. Keep your voice down, okay? What would happen if another curse bearer heard you? Beep. Sorry. Alright, so I think this little sentence is all that's been added. I wish we had a little more information, but they've locked up the front gate. Maybe we could sneak in through the back entrance. That person over there, isn't that Hitomi Okuda? You're right. That's unusual. Oh, but she was at the school last night, too. She must know something about Mr. Janochi. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, Mio, wait for me. Huh. So you're telling me the two of you were the ones at the school last night? No sense hiding it then. Plus, I owe you one, Mio. I'll tell you everything I know. Thank you. She owes you? Yeah. Right after I transferred here, there was a bit of trouble. She gave me one of those, what was it? Oh, exorcisms. Huh? So that's what it was. Okay, we're just gonna casually accept that there was an exorcism performed on her. Did you hear about Mr. Janochi? Heard about it. I've known about it since last night. I saw that asshole bite it on the school grounds myself. What? You saw it happen? Tell us about it. What happened exactly? Don't really know myself. It was pitch black. What I can tell you, it was almost dawn, probably around 3. He started freaking out all of a sudden, ran out on the ground like something was chasing him, then screamed. Somebody help me, forgive me, Michio. Or something like that while he was running around. Michio? I mentioned Michio? Was there anyone else in the grounds? It was too dark to see from where I was. But for just a second, I think I saw a girl in a school uniform with hair and braids. Oh? I didn't go out to make it sure, but it could have been nothing for all I know. Then I heard him begging for his life, like I was wrong, and I'll do anything. Then all of a sudden his arms and legs snapped, even though he was just standing there. His arms and legs broke without anything being done to him? He fell over and quit moving, so I thought I better get out of there. That's all I would have taken to finish. Yeah, you just needed an exorcism. Then you would have been fine. Then he croaked. That's all I saw. I see. But from what you've told us, it almost sounds like Michio's ghost chased down Mr. Janochi and killed him. Hell, if I know anything about that, I'm just telling you what I heard him say. Did you tell that story to the police? Nope, and I ain't gonna. Can't count on them for shit. Not like they believe such an insane story anyways. Right. But there must be at least one person in the police worth trusting, right? Yeah, I guess. There was this one cop who always got on my case about stuff. But he died just the other day. Oh, he did? I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone who gets involved with me ends up dead. Maybe I really am cursed. Pisses me off. You've got it all wrong. The spirit that possessed you wasn't that kind of spirit. Huh? It wasn't? Yeah, this was just an unfortunate coincidence. Though, I'm sure that was hard enough for you. That's all I know about that asshole's death. Hey, Mio, I've been thinking something. The way she described it reminded me of something. The way Mr. Janochi died. It sounds a lot like how Michio died. The spirit of the holiday season. Of course, I didn't see it myself, but the state Michio's body was in, it was like she had fallen from high up. Could they have been killed by the same curse? I don't think so. The curses of the 7 mysteries hadn't manifested when she died. And if we can trust what the spirit board said, then Michio died in an accident. Oh, right. That's all I know about that asshole's death. Okay, we'll have to come back to that. Hitomi, were you possessed by some kind of evil spirit? I don't understand it all too well myself. What I can say for sure is, thanks to Mio, the weird symptoms that were happening to me all went away. Yep, some people are born with a natural sensitivity to the paranormal. They tend to end up isolated as they struggle to relate to the people around them. They also tend to draw spirits to them naturally. This can cause strange symptoms they don't understand, like headaches, muscle stiffness, and hallucinations, even memory problems. I'm sure it must have been very hard. So, that's how it works, huh? Do people also have their personality taken over when possessed too? It is possible with spirits who have a very close relationship to their target, like siblings or a parent and child. But you almost never hear about people being taken over completely. It's when the two parties aren't in sync that those negative effects can start to appear. So the seances or whatever you see on TV are all bogus? Not quite. There are mediums and diviners who can align their minds with the spirits they call. Though there are people on TV who are just putting on a performance. Huh. There are people who in life had extremely powerful spirit sense or a deep connection with the person. But even they shouldn't be able to completely take over the person they possess. And even if they could, it'd only be enough to pressure them to choose certain behaviors that wouldn't be unusual for them to do on their own to begin with. But if that's the case, wouldn't you not know if you were choosing that behavior of your own will or not? Do you need a mattress or an exorcism? Good question. I think for most people it's probably the former. Hence, why there were a lot of cases where people don't even realize they're possessed. Though the spirit may influence the behavior and memories of the host, the deeper their connection in life, the easier it is for that to occur. I see. Getting possessed by a spirit is pretty complicated, huh? Must have been tough for you, being possessed for so long, he told me. Whatever might happen to me doesn't make any difference. Me being able to see spirits and stuff has nothing to do with how things ended up like this. Yeah, it's not like being able to see them is your fault either. The same goes for me. Maybe it's just something we have to live with. I think you have a knack for it yourself, Yako. I bet you could see them too, with a little training. I think I may pass. So that's why you do the job you do, huh, Mio? Thought she was a weirdo when she showed up all of a sudden saying she was going to exorcise me. If you hadn't said anything, I probably would have knocked your lights out. You tried to perform an exorcism on her without telling her anything? You see, in my experience, most people don't understand no matter how much I explain. They only accept my explanation after they see the results. Huh, I guess that makes sense. Does it though? Hitomi, last night before you witnessed Mr. Janochi's collapse, can I ask what he and you were doing in the classroom? You gonna tell the cops? Oh, right. With everything that happened with Mr. Janochi. They'll suspect you if we told them we saw you with him that night. Anytime something happens with someone like me, all those shitty adults start jumping to conclusions. I understand. I won't tell them. You wouldn't have been able to kill him anyway. I want nothing to do with the supernatural stuff. Now back to our prior conversation about using the curse to kill randos on the street. Seriously. The amount of justification she keeps mentally doing about, like, maybe it's okay as long as it's for Mio. If you say so, then I don't mind telling you about it. So last night, the piece of shit Janochi called me over, acting like he was going to attack me or something. What? How terrible. Whatever. I'm glad he's dead. He had it coming. Calling people worthless and a cancer in society when he doesn't know shit about them. That asshole was the one always acting like scum, if you ask me. Is that so? Could you tell us in more detail why he calls you out in the middle of the night? It's hard to explain. Where to start? Okay. What did you mean by Mr. Janochi acting like scum? Was he doing something bad? You know Michio Shiraishi, right? The girl who killed herself? Huh? Michio? I don't know everything, but that creep of a teacher had some dirt on her. He was using it to blackmail her. Call her up after school and make her do whatever he wanted. What? What do you mean when you say whatever he wanted? I'll leave it to your imagination. Nothing that a couple model students like you would ever get involved in. No way, that's... How? What do you mean by dirt? I don't know anything about this. How could I not know about this? Yako, I know how you feel, but try to calm down. You got guts acting like you were her friend. Janochi really did a number on both Michio's body and soul. She probably felt she couldn't tell anyone, like she had to suffer alone. No. How terrible. He told me, how do you know about this? I just happened to walk in on it. I know the spots around school people go to when they want to stay out of sight. He ran off in a panic when I yelled at him, asking what he was doing. Walked in on it? I couldn't just leave her alone, looking like she was about to cry, so I stuck around for a bit. She told me everything that happened in whispers. She probably figured I wasn't the type to spread that stuff around. But she never asked for my help. She told me that she was fine, to keep it a secret. Michio, why? She probably thought she just had to grit her teeth till it was through. She was naive. I tried to tell her that if you give guys like that an inch, they'll take a mile. She kept saying about how it was her punishment. She was soft. No. Of course Jinochi didn't change. He kept on doing what he was doing. I don't understand either of them, but that's as much as I was involved. And then she killed herself. Nothing I can do about it now. He told me, if you knew about it, then why didn't you... You trying to say it's my fault? She told me not to say anything. She told me she was fine. So what the hell more responsibility do I have other than what I already did? Yako, there's no point blaming Hitomi. Michio, why? Did you hear what this dirt was? Nope, never heard what it was. But from the sound of it, he'd been blackmailing her since about a year ago. For that long? The dick probably caught her doing something she shouldn't have been. She looked well behaved. There's more to a person than meets the eye, you know? There must be some reason. Dunno, got nothing to do with me. So, last night, how did it start? Alright. Remember that nosy cop I mentioned who was always on my case? He died at the former Yasuda Gardens a couple days ago. Yoshimi was his name. He was part of the juvenile division. He didn't look like a cop at all. Real rough guy. Good at looking out for folks, so he was the only one I could talk to. Huh. So there was someone like that with the police. Too bad he ended up dying. Oh, another thing. One time he suddenly introduced his fiancée to me. It was hilarious, seeing a big guy like that act like a shy little kid all of a sudden. She told me that she was like me when she was my age, and she was on my side. It must have been a terrible loss for her, too. Yeah, I do feel a little bad for her when I think about how sad she must be. And I saw him at the gardens the night he died. Oh no. Whenever I would get worked up over something, Yoshimi always took me straight to the park. Then he'd listen to whatever it was I was pissed off about. That day he called me over there like usual. But something seemed off about him. Like he was worried about something. Worried about something? Yeah. He asked me for a favor too. That was pretty unusual. A favor? What kind of favor? He handed me a weird talisman. Asked me to hold on to it for him. A talisman? Yeah, just a normal good luck charm. I figured if that's it, then sure, I'll take it. I have it with me now. But that wasn't all. He told me that he wanted me to look for a talisman Michio Shiraishi had that looked like this one. Huh? Michio? What does she have to do with this? Yoshimi had been meeting up and talking with her. While they were together, he noticed that she had, like, a special talisman or something. But apparently Michio always avoided the subject. A talisman that Michio had. He knew that I knew her, so that's why he asked me, he said. Could have been something that Michio couldn't tell even the police about? I know things at home were a little complicated. From what I heard, Michio was keeping her mouth shut about what Jinochi was doing to her. Hard to talk with the cops when someone's got dirt on you. And he didn't squeal or anything about Michio's either. Michio, what is it that had such a strong grip on you? So basically, Yoshimi didn't just have this eye on Michio, but her talisman too. But after she died, he didn't know where it ended up. So since I knew her from school, he wanted me to look into it for him. Is there something special about the two talismans? I wonder why he gave it to you. Hell if I know. When I looked inside it, there's just a weird, kind of grimy scrap of wood. So you've seen inside it. But from the way he was acting, it seemed important to him somehow. To be honest, what he was asking is such a pain in the ass. I figured he had to be serious about it. Oh, And since he died right after that, yeah, he even said to me, if anything happens to me, take those 2 talismans. Give them to a guy named Nakagoshi at the police department. Knowing what I know now, he probably felt like something was going to happen to him. Nakagoshi? Do you know him, Yo? No, I've just heard his name, I think. So, there really is a Nakagoshi. That's a relief, at least. Anyway, it didn't feel right just ignoring a dead guy's last request. Hitomi. Yeah? That talisman, would you mind if I had a look at it? Sorry, but I don't trust you all that much yet. It's important to me. Oh, okay. So last night you were looking for the talisman Michio had. Yeah. I figured that piece of garbage teacher would know the most about Michio. I asked him yesterday afternoon if he knew anything about her talisman. He gave me some cryptic response like, I can't talk about it now. Come to the school tonight. He even gave me the code to the lock on the back entrance. He seemed pretty willing to give it out, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's used it for secret meetings before. Yuck. I can only imagine. We climbed over the front gate to get in. So yeah, we met up in the classroom in the middle of the night. Nothing he said made any sense. Like, that I was really Michio, stuff like that. He went on and on about how it was my fault, and that if I hadn't been around or something. He grabbed a hold of me, breathing heavily. Were you okay? Yeah. That's right when you 2 showed up. I was able to get away while Jinochi was freaking out. My gosh. Good thing you got away. So it's really all thanks to you 2 that I got away. But I didn't get any info about the talisman, so the whole thing was sort of a bust. Afterwards, I was wondering what you 2 were up to, so I hid nearby. Then I saw you and old man Ashimiya talking, and then Mio showed up. Oh, you did? That's also why I saw Jinochi come back outside and bite it. I see. So you were the only here to look for Michio's talisman. I was dumb to fall for that creep Jinochi's trap so easy. It could have gone a lot worse, but I lucked out. What you described does sound like Michio killed Mr. Jinochi. She did have a reason to hate him after all. No way. You mean that really was her ghost? Like for real? Those who die bearing strong resentment or regret can occasionally become spirits, either bound to a place or roaming freely. However, it'd usually be impossible for them to kill the living. Most don't have that kind of power. But it's possible they could possess someone close to them to act on those lingering regrets. Huh. Wonder if that's what happened. Alright, and supposing what the spirit board said is true, and Michio's death was an accident, then she must have had some regrets. If she really hadn't given up on living, that is. I don't think she was the kind of girl who would just give up no matter what the situation. I don't really know, but she didn't seem like she had something tormenting her so much that she'd kill herself. And that's all I know. Happy? I still gotta look for the talisman. Sure. Thank you, Hitomi. Oh, if you 2 find out anything about Michio's talisman, we'll be sure to let you know. Thanks. Oh, can we get your contact info? Where we can normally find you? Right. I'm not at home most of the time. Usually I'm at a friend's place. Here's the phone number. Thanks. We'll call you if we need to talk with you. And, what is it? You're easier to talk to than I imagined. I was kind of scared at first, but not anymore. Shut up. You were the ones avoiding me. Anyway, catch you later. Don't die out there, okay? Thanks. We'll be careful. Alright then. We got a lot of new information. Sounds like Mr. Jinochi was killed by a curse, just as we thought. Which means there was a curse bearer at the school. Multiple, in fact. Multiple? You think so? Yes. The curse echo we experienced in the school and the one that killed Mr. Janochi seem to be different. The people in the school at the time, other than us, were Mr. Janochi, Hitomi, and old man Ashimiya, who you ran into. I was thinking it would be among them, but there was one more person Hitomi saw, a girl in a school uniform with braids. From what Hitomi was saying, it doesn't seem like she's one. Mr. Janochi is pretty suspicious, though. If he were a curse bearer, it would certainly explain why he was killed. Right. That's why I say there are multiple. Oh, right. The person who killed Mr. Janochi would have to be one too. Which means it must be either the mysterious girl or old man Ashimiya? Yeah, we should certainly be careful of them. That said, the mysterious girl and the fact that Mr. Janochi thought it was Michio and was attacking him has me wondering. Of course, I doubt Michio herself was actually there, but... Oh, I just remembered. I also saw Mr. Araishi outside the main gate last night. You did? It's likely he's involved with the curses given that he's the one doing research in the Rite of Resurrection. So we'll have to be careful that old man Ashimiya and Mr. Araishi. I want to believe that not all curse bearers will be hostile, but... As for what to do now, I'd like to find who was responsible for the Feast of Shadows that set this off, and how they did it. I don't think we'll be able to end this without stopping it at its source. Huh, that makes sense. In which case, next we should do... what exactly? We'll need to talk with Mr. Araishi. He definitely knows something. It should be safer during the day, so I think we should try to look for him. Got it. I'll help in any way I can. The school's closed. Wonder where he could be. Let's try heading someplace someone may know where he is. Where to go then? Okay. Let's check our persons of interest. Okay, we're looking for you. A regular at the cafe. Wait, where is the cafe? Hokusai Street. Which is not listed here. Okay, let me look closer. One more, I think. South Warigasui. I don't think that's near us. Let's go here first. And so, Mio Kurosuzu and Yako Sakazai decided on their next location to investigate. I don't know if that's, oops. Like, oh, you picked the wrong one, or you can't do this right now. Just gonna see if picking a different one changes anything. No, it's gonna be the same. Okay. So let's come up here and play a little longer. Good morning, ma'am. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your curse stone looking? I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night, then. That aside, why are you so late this morning? 9 a.m. doesn't sound that late. There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what limited time I had. Very well, let's talk. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. What's that? Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed soul dregs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with the curse bearer, have them use the right for our purposes. Oh? I mean, I suppose that would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible? So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you'd expect. Compensation. Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Shigimas, would it? Of course. Why would any amount be fine if it'd get the job done? I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did back with the ransom. Okay. With that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers have been proactive about collecting soul dregs. Did you see the news this morning? No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in this area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets. Oh my. Only 3? That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the low side. This little activity all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action. And then we offer them the deal. None of the curse bearers seem proactive. I wonder if the situation could be what the mastermind who kicked it off had intended. Now that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all? You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose, and they are likely after the rite of resurrection as well. So you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers. You've got a sharp mind, ma'am. Though it might seem obvious for the mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they were after the rite. This would be very risky, since as a curse bearer, they themselves would become a target. So it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively. Right. But despite that, they've been inflicting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves? You mean, their intention was also to steal the souls, while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is a safer course of action, which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy. So, how should we do it? There's still reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves.
To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with the other curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul dregs, can we be sure there even is a rite of resurrection? Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be for naught. Do you want to give up, ma'am? Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll have to do it without using the curses ourselves. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them. But I only managed to get detailed information on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from an investigator extraordinaire. I appreciate the flattery. First, there's Ayame Tono, the girl we talked to before. She isn't a curse bearer herself. She's a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment named Midoricho Park. You even determined her address? You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. I called every single university with ukiyo in the curriculum pretending to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way here. Doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble. Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. I couldn't keep track of her. And here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire. I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She's planning to steal the curse stones just like us. It's best we act carefully around her. Next is a tall man who was dressed in black. I met him near Kinshicho. He stood out with the way he dressed. I imagined to get some good information on him. Impressive. What can I say? He works as a secretary of Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Honjo, correct? Yes. They've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seems to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assumed she'd want her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right. Even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plant dumping waste into the river. Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the rite would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare? Ha! That's an interesting thought. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. This one seemed to be out collecting soul dregs, right? Indeed. Couldn't get a good look at him, though, and I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him. Well, that's a shame. But I can make an educated guess. Oh? You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text on the rite of resurrection? The one who lives near here? His name is Hideki Araishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Oh my, even he is involved? How awfully suspect. Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first. Understandable. Of course, I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I'll return to Hikaku Soaps to see that man in black. Their headquarters are down on the south Warigesui Street. I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It concerns the serial killings. There was a body found at Komagata High School. The person who was identified as a school teacher, his name was Kohei Jonochi. Do you think he was a curse bearer? Not sure. It's possible. But regardless, this means the two people who knew the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting somewhere. It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shiraishi's residence. It'd be wise to pay to visit. Understood. In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Honjo serial killings, there's Michio Shiraishi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. The strange deaths continue occurring like so. They're bound to inspire strange rumors. But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true. Both occurred a week before this accursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved even with those killings. How? What if there were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries curses? Can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. You seem to know a lot about this. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too. I see. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we wish to focus on the mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. We should pay attention to today's news. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue with our investigation? What do you want to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right. Let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself. In that case, I trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am. Where should I go to begin my search? Which places have stood out to me the most so far? Okay, so we have the park, street, and the high school. So that's the teacher murder. I think that's where he saw... What's her name? Or what's his name? I forget what the park is. So, the park is where... Cotton? We're here. This is Miroricho Park. Ayame Ayame lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. I wonder if it's worth checking again. This place is connected with the story of the Taiko of Sugaru. Not only that, Katsuhika Hokusai's home was also in this area. That might be why Ayame chose to live here. Okay. It seems picking up Ayame's trail is out of the question for now. Why did we even come here? You don't mean to speak with her, do you? No, I prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to. I like to see whether she's been home or not, just to potentially get a trace on her movements. Then, be my guest. Okay, I shouldn't be long. Eddie's back. I'm back, ma'am. So, nothing. I'm afraid so. She still hasn't returned. However, I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force keeping watch in the area. I don't know if they got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Interesting. You've got a sharp eye to have noticed them despite them being so covert. What can I say? It's part of the job. However, if I had to refrain from knocking on her door or looking through her windows, I wasn't able to check her electric meter or mailbox either, unfortunately. You were planning to go that far? Okay. So that's all we're going to get here. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters. Okay, wait, hold on. I got distracted by what we saw in the corner. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of the South Warigasui Street. They were closed when I visited this morning, but it appears things are up and running now. Or did I imagine it? I thought I saw something right here. Back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Warigasui ran through the area, but it's been turned into a major road. It's a bit away from Kinchicho Station, or Ryogoku Station, though it's still considered a nice area. The stories of the ever-burning lantern and the foot-washing mansion both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by this road as well. This is quite a lively area, huh? I suppose you could call it somewhat of a city center. First, I need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It'll be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. You should walk around, visit a cafe for some tea perhaps. To think a small soap-making company could grow so much in such a short time. They have factories and warehouses throughout the area now. You can see why director and now chairwoman Natsue Yamamori is called the Queen. Okay. Utilize her feminine perspective and well-timed economic boom, so she's girl-bossing her way through this company. Industrialization of Sumida City. The company continued to expand. Flagship products, cosmetics, detergent, soap, shampoo, and more. Hihaku can also refer to kasuri, type of pattern fabric. Okay. Natsue is the former president of Hihaku Soaps, a large chemicals company. Though she retired from her position, she still wields great influence over the company. As the chairwoman. Rumors about her possessing strange and powerful magical abilities earning the nickname the Witch of Hihaku. Prior to the war, Natsue enjoyed working her dream job as a textile factory. Forced to face the bitter reality of the world, however, when the factory was destroyed by a fire, she was ordered to rework the fabrics she had painstakingly crafted into something more suitable for blue-collar work. She left the textile industry. She made her company. Having long been dissatisfied with the soap supplied at the textile factory, Natsue saw a business opportunity and set up her own small soap factory. Taking inspiration from imported soap brands, she developed new products which quickly gained a good reputation. Okay. You mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary? That's correct. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A curse bearer with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as their next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. I'm going to go in. I may be a while, so feel free to find somewhere to kill time. Okay, good luck in there. Sorry to keep you waiting. How did it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night, but it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. That doesn't mean he has no connections to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night. However, you said your name was Richter, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. Curse stone? What do you want about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night, and your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? You're right. We lack time. I'll confess, I'm a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the haunting clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It's a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. I didn't know the soap business specialized in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Miss Yamamori. Is it so? Assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Ms. Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of these curses run rampant. So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamioto, who's gallantly working behind the scenes exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? There are curses you're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable action. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. We have 6. 6? Whoa. I can rest at ease then. And here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we are on the same page. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. Sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now. Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to, but I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you. I'll oblige. And that's how it went. So they aren't after the right after all. I wouldn't be so quick to trust him. Oh? I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like, really? 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible. The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. He seemed rather desperate to get hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul dregs. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch. I wonder about that too. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or he's trying to spread a rumor. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been caught up about the occult more than ever before. If word spreads that Hikaku's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. That's unsettling. How interesting that the Queen of Hihaku, or the witch, whatever she is, trying to get her hands on the rite of resurrection, is some kind of dark fairy tale. Regardless of what is or isn't true, we must stay one step ahead. Okay, no stickers here. By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company of reception's lobby. What's that? People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Despite that, I've reason to believe Hihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the Seven Mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. In the meantime, we should be off somewhere else. There's no reason to stick around here any longer. Okay. Here we are at Ground Zero, Komagata High School. I guess it's logical that the police has got this place shut down. Teacher's body was found here after all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now, that the school's closed. And no stickers. This place is said to be connected with the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bearer decided to turn up. However, I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled since they don't know much about curses. I can ask around and see what the students have to say. Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michio. I'm back, ma'am. So, what did you learn? That school kids sure love a good rumor. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Jinochi and Michio, most of which seemed dubious at best. Not surprising. Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought. But there was one story that caught my attention. Oh? Some believe that Michio is the one who killed Mr. Jinochi. Really? The story's got two pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently, he's been mumbling that Michio was going to kill him for some days now. A fellow teacher overheard his mumbling, told the students. And then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumors that juicy don't stay a secret for long. As for the other piece of evidence, a pigtailed girl in her school uniform was seen around school late last night. Go on. Although numerous people claimed to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some were proposing it was Michio brought back to life, or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michio's the only high school girl to wear pigtails. This rumor might have just been made up to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. That's an amazing find. I believe all the students actually have a copy of said list. It truly worries me how easy it was to obtain what should be confidential information. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't, no? Sure, let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it's now possible for us to visit Michio Shiraishi's house. I can imagine the students are uneasy after learning of the murder. It may do them well to stay home for some time, if not for fear of their safety. The police are probably too wrapped up in solving the case to be concerned about the students' mental health. I can see that. News has attracted a bunch of curious onlookers, huh? That works in our favor. The more people around, the better we can blend in. It seems the officers are still inspecting the scene. Entry has been strictly prohibited. Okay. It's important that society provides a safe environment for the benefit of our youth. Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially those handling the students' personal information. That's right, I don't want a student being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. I know, right? Like, no one's going to double take at this whole getup. I expect criminals to grow more cunning as time passes. Maybe times where the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. What's this about? Actually, just forget I said anything. Oh, wait, okay. We're good. How did it go? I went to visit Michio Shiraishi's family home, however. No one seems to be there. I got no answer at the door and all the lights were out. It seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out the Shiraishi's reputation really went down the dumps this past year. Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn. So far, so good. What happened? Well, as I said, the reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kankichiro Iwai. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name. So what of this Iwai character? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. Neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. Neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him to not hit Michio. It's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began to hear eerie chanting. Through this, the Shiraishi's standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day, and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Fortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. It's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shiraishis entirely, seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. It seems that they were still considered outsiders, even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one's partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem moved by the story, ma'am. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. Oh, okay, so I've got all persons of interest, apparently. Details are not known. Just to check again. Him versus... What was his name again? Okay. Oh, so you came here too. What is it? Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Richter? I think
that's a good cliffhanger for me to end at today. So I'm guessing we won't be able to continue this until we come back here and continue to explore the cops' stories. So we made a lot of progress today, a lot of exposition about each of the stories. They're starting to converge more, which I think is really interesting. The low point was definitely everything to do with the serial killer. I'm not really into it. I think the writing for him is pretty bad, actually. I do think the stuff with the high, the stuff with the high school too. It's like, let's imagine what are the most horrifying things that could happen to someone. Yeah, Mio never died. That didn't happen. It's like they took like a dartboard and they're like, here's all these bad things that could potentially happen to someone, and let's throw darts at them and just throw them all into this game. The mechanics are interesting, though. So I'm having fun with the gameplay and finding all the clues and trying to piece it together. But the plot is a bit much. It's not Danganronpa a bit much, but it's a bit much. But I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Thanks for hanging out with me. It was a lot of fun. I think I'll take a break from this tomorrow and I might play something else. It just depends on what I feel like doing. And then Sunday I'll get back to doing some crosswords. But other than that, I'm going to go to sleep. You should probably go to sleep. And I hope you have a good night.